Hey everyone. We have a text poll for you guys to do that we're gonna start out with. Get excited.
So let's get your phones out. It's all right. 2 truths and a lie. You're gonna text false to 37607, whichever one of these three you think is false. So here.
Okay, the first one, there's a studies skills community in Blackboard, and you'll text 613919 for that. And SAS is the place to go to obtain excused absences from class, and that's 613920. And the third one is students wishing to reschedule a test must contact SAS 24 hours in advance, and that's 613921.
All right. Don't text the word false. Text the number that Shay just read off to the 37607. Okay?
Is everyone ready for the most part? Okay, we'll wait.
Okay.
Oh, good job.
You're going to do the same thing, but this one's about academic advising. So text the 37607 if you think either one of those three is false.
Okay. The first one is the Center for Academic Advising can replace the services provided by a student's academic advisor, and the number for that is 613916. And students can come to the Center for Academic Advising at any time for academic assistance, and the number for that is 613917. And the last one is the Center for Academic Advising loves Chipotle and enthusiastically encourages gifts of burritos. And that's 613918. Okay. So the first one was the lie. The last one was actually true.
And one more, and this one is about the registrar's office. So the same thing again.
Okay, the first one, students can request and pay for transcripts using an online service, and the number for that is 613913. The registrar's office manages changes in students' academic records, and the number for that is 613914. And the final one is the registrar's office monitors waitlist every day for open seats until the first day of class, and the number for that is 613915.
All right. Thank you for participating, and SAS is up next.
And welcome to part 2 of Student Academic Support Services presentation. Student Academic Support Services, remember, is called SAS, and we have several services for students. You remember last week we talked about tutoring. We learned that there are basically 2 kinds of tutoring available. One is face-to-face tutoring in the SAS office. The other kind of tutoring is online smart thinking. Second, we learned that you can do makeup tests in the SAS office. You need to let us know 24 hours, working hours ahead of time, though, before you want to test, in order for us to get you on the testing calendar and for you to have time to inform your professor so that they can get the test to us. Today, we want to talk about 3 more services that are available in the Student Academic Support Services office, and those are listed. First of all, MAP, which stands for Monitoring Academic Progress, then Disability Services, and finally, Emergency Case Management. So first, for MAP, let's hear from one of our students who has been a MAP student in the past.
Hello, my name is Sarah Engeman. I am a sophomore here at the University of St. Francis, and I'm a part of Act One Drama Club. I am here today to talk to you about the MAP program. When I was first coming into college, I got a letter telling me that I had to join this MAP program. I was a pretty mediocre student in high school, so being told that I had to go into the MAP program so that I could get help with my grades. And I'm also from a small town in Ohio, so coming into the city of Fort Wayne seemed a little stressful to me, so I wasn't really sure how to take the big city. So When I first went into the MAP program, I immediately liked it right away. My instructor was always there to help me with organizing my classes and my tests and upcoming projects that I had. If I had a big test coming up, she would always ask me how it was going, how studying was going, and if I needed help studying, she would send me these great websites I could go on that would help me study for tests and get ready for them. Also, if I had a personal problem that was just bothering me and getting in the way of my studies, she would help me with that, whether I would just talk it out with her or if she wanted me to go to counseling sessions just to kind of talk to someone and become less stressed about school. And the MAP program will always be here to help you, even if you're not a part of the program. They are always ready to help with anything that you would need, whether it's with school, with classes, tests, or projects, or with personal problems that you might be having that are getting in the way of your studies. And I got all A's and B's when I finished my first year here, and I owe that entirely to the MAP program, to my MAP instructor. And I'm in the MAP program now because I know that as a college student, I will always find something that I'm struggling with, and I know that they will always be here to help me.
Okay. I appreciate Sarah being willing to say that she was in the MAP program. Sarah did not have to be in the MAP program her second semester here at USF, but she chose to stay in the MAP program because she knew that it was helpful for her. Sarah was very complimentary to Student Academic Support Services as she was talking about her experiences. But I've got to tell you something about Sarah. She did two things that really made her successful. First of all, she was willing to try study skills and try new ways of doing things beyond what she had done in high school. The second thing that made Sarah successful, she worked very hard her first semester. And so those were the things, in addition to MAP, that helped her do so well. The MAP program is for students who have been designated to be in the MAP program, to have us help them monitor their academic progress. But any student can work with our office. If you would like to have someone to be your accountability partner, if you would like to have somebody help you with study skills, any of the things that Sarah was talking about, we are here for all of you. When Sarah was talking about her counselor showing her websites where she could learn how to study and learn how to do things, those websites are available to all of you. All you have to do is join the Student Academic Support Services community, the SAS community. And you do that by going into Blackboard, going up to the community tab, clicking on the community tab, and then enrolling in the SAS community site. And then all of these websites will open up for you. If you have questions about that, just talk to any of us in SAS. The next service that I want to talk about is disability services. Student Academic Support Services has been designated by the university as the office that handles disability services. And so if you are a student with any kind of a disability, or if you know a friend who has a disability and doesn't know who to talk to about services, please refer them to our office. All you have to do is come in and talk to us, and we'll talk to you about the procedures that you need to follow for services. And finally, emergency case management. Remember at the beginning when we were talking about, or when you were doing the two truths and a lie, and the question was, Student Academic Support Service is the attendance officer or something like that? No. At the university level, there is no attendance office. You are responsible for your attendance, and you work directly with your faculty. As you know, different faculty have different attendance requirements, and so you need to communicate directly with your faculty about any absence or anything you have missed in class. However, with a student population of over 2,000 students, every year crazy things happen. Students have wrecks on the way to tests. Students end up in the emergency room. Students end up with family crises. deaths in the family, and so forth. If you can contact your professors, you need to do that. But if you're in an emergency situation and you cannot contact your professors, please call us in SAS. We will serve as the liaison. We will contact your professors until you get to a position in your life that you can get back into contact with them. And so these are the services that are for all of you, and they are all free in student academic support services. Any questions? Okay. During this past week, we have been collecting names for our drawing. I'm going to need some help. Let's see, Brad. I need your help. Would you draw a name?
Louth? Kelsey Louth?
Kelsey Louth? Sorry. Our gift certificates were given to us by the Alumni Association and AVI Food Services.
All right. So we're going to play a game starting now, and it goes until we get out here in a little bit. And this game is called If You Talk, You Get Hit. So, if there are people around you who you hear talking, I want you to hit them, physically hit them, all right? If you're whispering and no one hears you, that's one thing. But if I can audibly hear your voice, I want somebody around you to hit you. Everyone understand that? All right? So I don't want to hear voices. If you whisper, if you're on your phone, I'm cool with that. If I hear your voice, I'm going to have somebody hit you, all right? We good? All right, so by show of hands, who in here knows what classes you're going to take in the spring? So a couple. Who in here knows how to register for classes? A couple, good. Who in here knows who their academic advisor is? Excellent. Who in here is one of my advisees? Good. All right, after today, we want you to know all the answers to those questions. When we look at our students and we see what causes them stress, one of the things that causes the most stress is how to sign up for classes. Making sure that they're not here 5 days a week. Making sure they don't have 6 hours between classes. And so if you listen today to myself and to Frank in a little bit, I promise you it's not going to be as stressful when you sign up for classes. We're going to make it easy for you. We have some practical steps. So just pay attention. If you don't want to pay attention, that's fine. Just don't talk, all right? So, I am from the Center for Academic Advising. Awesome. There I am. My name is Phil Marizzi. And there's a couple things we want to cover today. First thing is, what is academic advising? All right, anybody have a guess on what academic advising is? Anybody want to raise their hand? Yeah, speak real loud. Stand up. What's your name? Andrew. Andrew, good. You have a strong voice. What is academic advising?
Academic advising is the people that help you make your schedules and help you on the track to graduation.
Excellent. Who wants to add to that? Who wants to add to that? He's definitely right. That's a part of it. He's on the right track. Who else? What other aspects of academic advising is there? Come on now, don't be shy. Nana, what do you think? So he said scheduling of classes. What would you add? Yes, absolutely. If you didn't hear Nana, she said it doesn't necessarily have to do with just scheduling for classes. And we're going to talk about that. The next thing we want to talk about is your academic advisor. So what is their role in academic advising? All right? And then lastly, we want to talk about your role. As a student, as an advisee, the one thing you guys all have in common is that you're advisees and you have an advisor. Okay? So we're going to talk about today. So the first thing, what is academic advising? And we're going to read to you the definition. As a university, this is what we think academic advising is. The University of St. Francis cultivates a personal relationship with all students through effective academic advising, helping them to set and achieve academic, professional, and personal goals. So Andrew, right? He said the first part there, academics. It's all about academics, doing your schedule, figuring out what you want to do with your major. But it's also professional goals. Hopefully when you guys graduate, you can get jobs, right? That's the whole point. And so we want to help you do that. In order to get a job, you have to know what you want to do. You have to set goals and also personal goals, right? You're not just a student. You're not just an employee someday. You're a member of society. You're supposed to add value. So we want to help you do that. So that is academic advising. Also, quick note is at the end of today, as you see this little table set up here, we're going to play Jeopardy, all right? And I'm going to have 4 contestants come up, and we're going to ask you questions, and those questions in the Jeopardy style is all going to come from what we're going to talk about. So if you're interested in playing, if you want to win some prizes, pay attention. Hence, the definition, if you could take a quick note on what that is. All right, next thing, the advisor's role. This diagram that's going to pull up here is what we call the advising wheel, okay? And as you see in the center, that is academic advising. All those services that are around that wheel are all the services that you guys may use someday. Linda, who is just up here, she's in SAS, and so that's one bubble up there in the left-hand corner, all right? Anytime that you have questions, concerns about anything at the university, go to your academic advisor first. Does that make sense? The advisor's role is to be the person that sends you in all those different directions. So they're helping you set those academic, professional, and personal goals, and anytime you need additional services, they're going to point you in that direction, all right? So that is what academic advisors do in a nutshell. Next thing, your role, all right? This next document that's going to pop up is called the Advising Syllabus. Has anybody seen this? Andrew, you're the man. Stand up. What's the advising syllabus? Aren't you a freshman? Like, what's a long time? A week or like a month ago? Yeah, all right. And what's in the advising syllabus? Do you remember? What's in a regular syllabus for a class? Expectations, bingo. This document explains the expectations for you as an advisee. If you have not seen this, go to your academic advisor and ask for it, all right? If your advisor doesn't know what it is, they don't have one, come see me in the advising center and I'll give you one, all right? There's important dates on this, how to register for classes, how to get in contact with people, all those good things. So instead of going through this word by word, I'm going to lay out a couple of things that this talks about that's a practical step for you as an advisee, all right? So the first one, know who your academic advisor is. Can I get a volunteer? If not, we'll go back to Andrew because I know he's going to know. But how do you find out who your academic advisor is? Yes, it's listed. Anybody know where it's listed? Cougar Connection. Very good. Cougar Connection is your #1 source for information. Frank in a little bit is going to walk you through exactly where on Cougar Connection that is. But if you do not know who your academic advisor is, it's on Cougar Connection. We're going to be registering for classes coming up pretty soon. And if you don't know who your academic advisor is, you can't register for classes. So know who your academic advisor is. Number 2. Check your USF email daily. Not your Yahoo account, not your Gmail. Check your USF email. For all my advisees, that's how I get in contact with them. If the business office needs to get in contact with you, financial aid, they're going to email your USF account. Jenna's going to get hit. I'm serious. I don't see anybody getting hit, but I hear voices. You guys got to be better at that. Check your USF email daily. If we need to get in contact with you, that's the only way we can. All right? I'm not going to call you on your cell phone, but I will email you, okay? So check that daily. If you don't know what your login is, go to the help desk. All right? Next thing. Don't try to figure out, fix, solve everything on your own. Use your academic advisor. I'm being serious about this. It can be very stressful for you to try to figure out some of these things. Like financial aid, I see Seth back there. Financial aid can sometimes be stressful just because you're not familiar with it. Come to your academic advisor. We do this stuff every day. We know where to send you. We know how to answer your questions. Don't try to figure it out on your own. All right? Use your academic advisor. We will relieve stress, I promise. Next thing. Come to advising sessions prepared. Anybody want to have an idea of what I mean by that? Yeah. Absolutely. Perfect answer. She said have an idea of what classes you need to take. All right, so how would you know what classes you need to take? Andrew, love you. Yeah. Man, keep going. Who's your iConnect professor? Yeah, she's the best. Oh, yeah, she's one of our advisors. Yeah. So, did you hear what he said? You got to check the thingy. He was close. Check the thingy that has the placements, the general education classes, your major classes. Anybody know what that's called? Oh, yeah. What's your name? Noah. I want you to yell what you just said. Noah, I want you to yell what you just said. Program sheet. Very good. And where do you find the program sheets? You can find them online, and I'm going to show you exactly where to find them. I know we're not at a computer. You might forget these steps, but just watch. So when you actually have to do this in a couple weeks, it's much easier, okay? So this is how you find a program sheet. You ready? I'll take that as a yes. All right. This is sf.edu. This is the home page. Okay, so you should all be able to figure out how to get to this. See that red arrow? It points to academics and majors. Then this will populate. Then you want to click on undergrad catalog. Program sheets. And this is important. This lists all the program sheets for the university. You see how it says PDF right here? When you click on that, not yet, but when you click on that, it's going to populate the PDF with your program sheet. Very important for you guys to see is this right here. This is the year you're coming in. So this is your program sheet, not this year. All right? If you earn all the degree requirements on this year and you get to graduation, you're like, I'm done. We're going to be like, no, you're not. You're on the wrong program sheet. You're 2012, 2013, okay? So when you go to get your program sheet, always remember it's the year you come in or the year you declare major. All right? So let's say Nana. She's a sophomore, so when she originally declared as a freshman, she was biology pre-PA, biology pre-med, right? And so she would have clicked on the 2011-2012 biology pre-med. She just changed her major to a new major this semester. So she's going to click on the 2012-2013 program sheet for that year. Does that make sense? It's important. It's important to know that now versus 4 years or 2 years when you think you're going to walk for graduation. All right, so you click on the PDF, and this is the program sheet. All right? We're going to run through this real quick. That first section is placements. You all took placement tests, right? If you placed into Math 120, you'll know that because your advisor will tell you, we told you that when you came to register, and that's where you complete those hours. This next section is the common content. iConnect. is one of those classes. That's why you're all in here, is that all students have to take that. English Comp and Speech. Everybody takes those 3 classes. If you're in a bachelor's degree, everybody takes those classes, all right? That's why it's the common content. This next section is general education, all right? And so you'll see, and you can hit to the next one, this is the next page of the general education classes. These are all classes that you take as part of your liberal arts degree. That's why you're at a liberal arts school. You have a general education. It's all about being well-rounded, all right? And then the next section is your major classes, which obviously you have to take in your major. And if you have elective hours, all right? Anybody know what elective hour is? No, sir, I like that, respect that, that's good. Who wants to take a guess what an elective hour is? Any what? And why would you take it? Because you want to? Well, it's kind of expensive just to take classes for fun. Keep guessing. You like it, you want to, it doesn't relate to your major, but what's the purpose of taking the elective hours? Credits, right? Because how many hours do you need to get your 4-year degree? 128. Very good. 128 hours. So let's say you get done with your placements, common content, general education, major. You've checked off all the boxes, but you're at 125 hours. How many elective hours do you need to take? 3. So don't take electives if you don't need to. For instance, if you're a nursing major, you're in the BSN program, you don't have any elective hours. So if you're taking electives now because you want to or it's fun, it won't go towards your major. All right, does that make sense? All right, so let's say you pull up your program sheet, all right? You're about to meet with your advisor. You want to be prepared because you know that's one of your responsibilities. And you see that you're going to take a theology class in the spring. All right, how do you know what class counts as a theology class, meets that requirement on the program sheet? Anybody know? Says theology, that's close. Learning outcome. See that LO 2930? Circled in red there? That tells you you have to take that theology class because it meets that learning outcome for theology. Not all theology classes meet that learning outcome. That's important. So you may be taking a theology class, and you may not need to, unless it meets the learning outcome 29 and 30. All right, does that make sense? Now, to know what classes meet the theology learning outcome, how would you figure that out? Good. Approved Gen Ed course list, right? On Career Connection, homepage, bottom of it, it says approved Gen Ed course list. Stick with me, this is important. I promise you to help you save time. So we click on that, populates this document. It shows you all the learning outcomes and what classes meet that outcome. It's very simple. We even make it more simple for you by we bold the ones that are being offered that semester. Okay? So this is for fall 2012. So the ones that are bold, and it's hard to see on this, but it's easy from up here, but you can see which ones are bold, right? That says that's being offered the semester I'm trying to go into, all right? So you can look at learning outcome 2930. I know I need to take that. I can see what classes meet that requirement, and I can see when it's going to be offered, all right? So let's say you wanted to take Theo 231, Islam, but it's not being offered. Then you wouldn't sign up for that class. All right, so maybe you take a religion class instead. That's why we have this document up there. So you can choose classes when you want to take them, but you also know what classes you have to take to meet the outcomes, all right? So you have a program sheet on the left, theology, learning outcome 2930, approved Gen Ed course list that shows you which ones meet them, all right? It's pretty easy. You can print them off. So again, what is academic advising? Pointing you in the right direction, more specifically. Scheduling, so academics. Setting you up for career, professional. Helping you meet goals. personal goals, right? So you have academic, professional, personal. That's what academic advising is. What is the role of the academic advisor? Point you in the right direction, right? Remember the picture. Advising wheel. Maybe a question on Jeopardy. Advising's in the center. All the services at the university are on the outside. Go to your academic advisor first. And then your role, lastly. What's your role? Be prepared, right? So first thing was, know who your advisor is. Very simple. 2, check your USF email daily. Number 3, don't stress yourself out. If you can't figure something out, go to your academic advisor. This stuff doesn't stress us out because we deal with it every day. It's all new to you guys. All right, we're not expecting you to figure everything out. If you don't know financial aid, ask us. We'll send you the appropriate person in financial aid. And then the last one is come prepared to the meetings. And to do that, you need a program sheet and you need the approved gen ed course list. All right? If you do those things, you're right there? You good? You must stand up and do some jumping jacks? That was a big yawn. It's cool. I mean, I get it, but if you want to wake up, it's cool. All right, so that's that. Any questions on what I just said? Does that make sense? All right, good.